Now let's see what things we need to consider when writing a correlated subquery. While writing a correlated subquery, you need to write the inner query to accept input value from the outer query and write the outer query to accept the appropriate return result from the inner query. If the inner query will be scalar, you can use the equality and the comparison operators such as equal to, less than, greater than, etc. in the where clause. But if the inner query returns multiple values, you need to use the in predicate and also plan to handle null results. And you need to correlate the queries by passing the values from the outer query to match an argument in the inner query. The correlation between the inner and the outer queries occurs when the outer value is passed to the inner query for comparison. It's this correlation that gives the subquery its name. You need to create aliases for the source tables in the outer and the inner queries. For example, in this query that we see here, the sales orders table in the outer query is aliased as outer orders, and the sales orders table in the inner query is aliased as inner orders. And you also need to identify the column from the outer query that will be passed to the correlated subquery and the column from the inner table that will be compared to the column from the outer table. In this example, customer ID is being passed from the outer query to be correlated to the inner query. Let's execute this query and see what the results will look like. Let's open a new query, paste the query that we just saw, and click on Execute. It will return the customer IDs and details about the latest order that they just placed. Now let's look at an example that shows how to use more than one subqueries. Let's open a new query and let's do a select. Let's get the orders table. Let's get the order ID, customer ID, employee ID. From sales orders table, where order ID in select order ID from sales order details table. And now let's execute this query first to see what the results will look like. Now let's add a subquery to the inner query. Let's add a where clause where product ID in select product ID from production.products where product name like HH. Now let's execute this query and see what the results will look like. And this query returns the ID of the employees who have sold a particular product that you're looking for, the customer ID and the order ID in which that product was sold. Now that you've learned how to write correlated subqueries and multiple levels of subqueries, let's see how to use the exists predicate in the subquery.